Yeah, we back in the building. Truth to Create podcast. You know what we do here. We are in the building. Let me get everything straight. Yeah. So, Truth to Create podcast, episode number 14. You know what I mean? We started 2 weeks ago. And one of the things so I'm being very transparent so that you guys can understand about content creation, the way that we process, the way that I really process it going about work is like, I woke up with an idea. Well, the idea was sparked by something. Let me go to the truth. Like, let me go to the bottom of it. Like, I woke up, I watched a video from this guy, Wallow and Gilly. It was a guy named Wallow. Okay. He put up a video. He's like, oh, yeah, this is the ingredients. You know, this is the mixing board. This is da-da-da-da. This is da-da-da and the third, right? And mind you, one of my homeboys started a podcast like 13 years ago, Tax Stone. Okay. So when I seen that, it triggered something. It's like, now it's time to like just make use of. Before I felt like starting a podcast wouldn't make any sense because I didn't have enough experience. I didn't have enough things to talk about. I don't have enough like experience in the game to even have something to talk about. So I was like, okay, let me at least gain enough experience and put in the work that actually it takes to even have something to talk about on the podcast rather than just
create content.
Yeah, create content. Valuable content.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
That's what's most important.
Exactly. So that was the mindset and everything. So like once I felt like okay, actually I didn't feel like it. Once I seen that video, I was like, oh, this is a call out.
You open up the eyes.
Yeah, it opened my eyes. I was like, oh, this is a call out. This is it's making sense. You got everything in front of me. I was like, all right, cool.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's an open moment.
So that same moment, I bought all the equipment.
Okay.
Right. Right after that, it took like a week or so to get here. As soon as it came in, I ain't talk about the podcast. I ain't say, oh, I'm gonna make an extension of Truth to Create, and make it into a podcast. I ain't say none of that. Okay. I ain't even say nothing about the equipment. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till the equipment come in before I start talking stuff. The equipment came in. I sent the picture to Raul. I sent the picture to my girl. I sent the picture to somebody else. I was like, oh, we on. Truth to Create podcast.
That was the launch of the spot.
That was like 2.5 weeks ago. Okay. And we on episode 13. No, we on episode 14.
14. That was quick. That's pretty quick. Hey, congratulations for so long.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, that's 14. That's a lot
14.
of content. That's a lot of content in 2 weeks.
So like my outreach process was like this. Like so I was outreaching to like on Instagram and Facebook, and I was outreaching to everybody. So I usually write a lot of my content and I write out like my outreach messages. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna reach out to the people that I want to talk to. Like I really actually want to talk to. Okay. And there was one guy, he was a dentist, and I was like, oh, I want to talk to him. I met him one time at an event. I took a picture of him. Let me just reach out to him, see if he's gonna be on the podcast. Did a cold outreach. I wrote it first. I thought about it first, sent it. Boom, it ain't hit. So I'm like, dang, it ain't hit. Maybe I'm gonna start doing some more outreach again on the internet. But what I did was I was like, man, you know what? I'm going right to my phone. So I'm gonna go to my phone and go through my call list and basically go through everybody that I feel inspired me. Everybody that I feel inspired me and that, I just start with that. You know what I mean?
First of all, thanks for the call, by the way.
Yeah. So that's what I did. I just went through everybody that I felt inspired me, any like business owner that I felt doing their thing and felt that I could learn from. Like basically, I just went through, text all the people that I already know in my call list.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nice. And here we are.
Yeah. And that's how we got the 14, episode 14. So it's 14 people that inspire me. It's a lot of people that inspire me, man. I'm gonna tell you about this guy that inspired me. I thought I was gonna actually connect with him and sell with him on some of my video marketing services, right? Okay. And I was like, I seen this commercial, and I was like, I seen Marissa. We work at a GP, so Marissa, she's like a manager here, okay. And she's like, oh yeah, I know that kid. He sells pieces. He's like, I know that guy. He sells he has a shop. A pizza shop. I'm like, word? And he's doing advertising? I'm like, he got to know something, man. If you doing advertising, you're a pizza shop. he got to know something about marketing. I'm like, if he already knows something about marketing, he gonna see value in what I do. I need to go ahead and see this guy. So I was like, you know what? Where he stay at? It's like, oh, he gave me the name of the restaurant. I looked you up on YouTube, seen some of your
That was the
stuff.
day we met.
And then I literally came to your shop. And when we met, bro, I was like, yeah. Yeah. Like he was talking more about like he wasn't talking about pieces. He was talking about like marketing strategies. He was talking about different types. I'm like, yo, this guy's.
I mean, I love the pizza shop, but the pizza shop, the way I see it is like, if it's two strategies for me. One, the strategy is that we want to be able to help the neighborhood and us create pretty much a logistic of delivery point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because pretty much society, the way I look at it, society has a few main piles. Okay, main pillars. Okay, which ones you cannot survive without food, you cannot survive without society itself without housing. So you have the house. That's why the house price goes up has enough production. Okay, then you cannot survive without communication. You cannot have business or even social without communication. Okay, you cannot do also distribution. I don't care what product we have if we don't buy the guy. I don't care if it's digital or physical. Okay, and your payment process. I don't care if it's cash. You still have to be able to process that payment. Okay, so that's the main pillar. So the pizzeria actually falls in three of them. The humans going to food, the process payment, and logistic of delivery. Once you have actually enough networks of that, that's why actually Papa John's and big companies like that, they actually make their money. It's not on the shop. It's by selling the food to the owners. Okay, because they can mass produce, but they own their own delivery, they own their own distribution. There's like Cheney Brothers, Cisco, all those big companies that make so much money. They're not producing the food. They might have the white label and all that, so they can buy on volume and resell. But actually, delivery, logistics is what go. That's how the whole planet move. And that's why when the whole COVID shut down, we stopped the logistic, and that's what prices went up so crazy. Okay, so getting back to that, like the pizza shop served me that one purpose. Okay, is to be able to logistically deliver food, help the community at the same time. Because that way also it allows you to get to know people. That's how we met. Okay. And the whole thing is actually pretty much my guinea pig for me to do my software business. Okay, because that's why I see software pizza shop you can do 5 miles per location. Okay, software you can go global. You have to do just translate to a different language and understand the laws and regulations of that place, so that way you can launch it there. So that's why like when you say like the pizza shop for me is a stepping stone. You understand? So that way I can learn and test my softwares, test my marketing skills, test my build out software, logistic, workflow environments, and see like that what work. Printers, hardware for the computer touch screen, how that we can test that in the restaurant.
Yeah, and that's why I connect with you so heavy, and that's why we work together. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why I connect with you, because it's like, for me, it's about putting in the actual work and learning.
From microphone, sorry.
Huh?
From too far, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. I mean, it's for me. It's all about like connecting and like. So, all right, to be able to get there to that point, it's like basically putting in the work.
Well, you have to.
Right. I mean, putting in the work on a consistent basis with intention.
It's called a discipline. Once you figure out like one, choose your focus. Okay. Once your mind is clear, where you want to finish, not even how you want to get there, but where you want to go. Okay. What's the end game? All right. Once you choose the end game, you know how far it is. I say you're aiming for the sun. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't care how many clouds and mountains you gotta go to. Mm-hmm. Puppy, how you doing? So the whole thing is like once you're aiming for the sun, okay, whatever goals you are, you're gonna pass through mountains, clouds. You gotta see through that. You didn't even pay attention to that. You just see the end game. Mm-hmm. And as long as I believe for me personally, because everybody's different, okay, but me personally, as long as I stay focused, okay, and disciplined to come back to stay focused, that's the biggest challenge. Because it's very easy and very common for us to get distracted. Because life throws all kinds of stuff at us. Mm-hmm. Life can throw you personal life, workflow environments, all kinds of things. You understand? So as we go through, be able to adapt to that and come back to the roots, that's actually the challenge throughout the day that we all have.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes to, like coming back to the root. So, like. Just getting back to like what you was talking about, right? So like the main focus, right, is not only the fact that okay, you got the shop, but you also have the software thing, right? You have the software brand, and with the software brand, it takes a lot of teamwork,
Oh, definitely.
right? It takes a lot of collaboration, and like the thing about like that's why I like rocking with you, and I'm always gonna be breaking down things, breaking so basic, because I'm very 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 I'm not gonna say slow, I'm fast, I'm quick, I understand things, but I like to understand things on just like a level where it's like a kid can understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Break it down simply. I understand.
Yeah, and like that's a thing that is a skill set. You know what I mean? Being able to communicate to your team. You know,
Especially because we're doing everything offshore. Okay,
the
that's it.
communication of
Yes.
what you need done.
Correct. Like everything goes pretty much like Google meetings, okay, WhatsApp groups, because there's offshore, especially in South America and in India. That's what we have a lot of. Okay, using third party software providers like Upwork, Fiverr, hire people that you never met. Start slowly to see what they deliver. Once they deliver, then you go see how they deliver. You know the quality of work. Like I have one guy that actually I got lucky. I call myself lucky that I found this guy on Upwork. I hired him for a small project. Okay, the scraping project I was talking earlier with you. And once he gave the script project, he did such a good job. I like, you know what? We can work some more work. And I gave him more workload, and he delivered fast professionalism. I was like, listen, this guy actually, I already spoke to my partner, like, listen, I want to bring this guy to help you out, because my partner is in charge of development. He's the software engineer. So I said, I would like to bring this guy, to work full time with us. And I was like, I'll stress about it. I see you're observing the environment. And that's what I'm saying, like being observant, okay, of everything action, because life, as we said earlier, life will throw stuff at you.
Yeah.
Okay, but as long as we're able to bypass that and look at the end game, don't care about any stuff, because the end game is all that matters. You understand?
Yeah.
Like how the song goes, like I try so hard to get so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter, because in the end, doesn't matter how hard you try, as long as you get there. Yeah. You understand? As long as you get there, doesn't matter if it took a week or a year. It's your own personal journey. You understand? It matter, like the way I look at it, like this is a big game. That's literally what this is. Okay, it's a big game. Sometimes you take it very serious and you take it very personal, but in the day it's a big game. Like say, for example, like I have people already told to me, like, listen, money has two ways. Okay, money can have pay bills, or money can be a tool. Okay, I like to see money. I like to turn money into a weapon. Okay, because a tool can be turned into a weapon. You understand? So once we're able to see things for that, you no longer see money as well, let me make this to buy this or acquire this. Okay, like you can see, I'm simple. I didn't even get a haircut. I'm very simple, down to earth. Why? Because if you're not bringing value to my quality of life, okay, or bring love to the ones that I care, then that money or whatever asset I have should be used to produce something for everybody else. You understand? But if it's going to be personal good for me, then yes. You understand? But not because of like you coming to the point, let's say for a business, for example. I don't even care about putting my names in the business. You understand? I put the name of a city. I call it Manhattan just for it, so it can be recognized. You understand? I don't call myself Papa John's or anything, because I don't want to be recognized as the owner. I just care about delivering the quality of the product, so the product can speak for itself, not me. Okay, I'm humble enough to believe that hey, I don't need to put my name into anything. Even nicknames and stuff.
Now I feel you, man. So like even like I remember when I first started with photography and stuff like that, and that was like 2007. And I was like my first business was called RJD Photography. Okay. And then right after RJD Photography, I was like, man, I gotta do something that's not included with my name, and that was True and Deep Productions. And then after True and Deep Productions, Outlet Films, Nightlife Flicks.
Talk with the industry, not for yourself.
ContentFactory.media group. Yes. It's like, okay, and a lot of these things was just ideas. It wasn't like necessarily a business. It was just ideas.
And that's how
I started like thinking about like different brands outside of like the first business as idea was RJD Photography, because of course I'm RJD and it's like I do photography. So RJD
Photography. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. I hear you.
But then after that, after doing RJD Photography, I was like, I don't want it to be just about me.
Otherwise, you have to include your group. You consider the team and that whole thing. Like, if you make it about you, that's pretty much what you're gonna be doing your whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole idea, like forgot who quote this, but if you're able to build a business that it doesn't, you don't want to become the bottleneck, okay? You want to be the oversight of it, but you don't want to become the bottleneck, because if all the decision making, okay, the daily decision making depends on you, that means you didn't create the proper protocols to self-run, okay? Mm-hmm. That means you're going to be literally have to work every day on the business, okay? And you don't want that, okay? Now, the second thing about the business also to be self-procreating. Again, excuse me, I'm just speaking out of myself. I don't know if it's right or not. I'm just speaking out of myself. Okay. And the second thing about the business is after you create the protocols, you want to test them and you do a stress test. What I mean by that, let's say, for example, how easy it is to learn, what's the learning curve of this, is easy to understand by everybody when they learn, because from different education background, can everybody learn fast enough? Okay. And also, after that, can you multiply? Okay. If you cannot multiply, that means you confine a certain environment. Okay. Let's say, for example, if I cannot multiply the shop, I'm confined within 5 miles. If I cannot multiply what I learn and teach it to others, or be able to find talents to bring back to work with me, then that means I cannot multiply. You understand? And like what challenge that we have right now is that actually we're not able to multiply for the simple fact that hiring is so hard. Like, even though like we are paying literally 30 to 40% more than the industry standard, and I have got a bunch of applicants, some of them are not qualified because they don't do things with love. Okay, and you see the standards that we have, they're like, I greet people with a smile on their face. Yeah. So everybody around me, I want, hey, listen, you have to be nice. Yeah. You don't have to be a salesperson like that, but you have to be nice. Yeah. Okay, if you're Mr. Grumpy, stay out of the shop. It's like, because when people go out to eat and stuff like that, they want to be treated nice. Yeah. You know, don't you love when somebody gives somebody nice attention?
This is true. This is very true. And I do a lot of things based off of that. You know, I do a lot of things based off of that. And that's why I always tell people, like, yo, the most people that you think that, oh, he's mean, he's that, man, they're the nicest people in the world.
Because you have to be able to read people. Sometimes we all have bad days.
We all have bad days, but
cannot be every day.
the people that you think like, oh, nah, they are the most sweetest people, the most nicest people in the world, man. They treat you well. They talk to you nicely, and it's because you want to be treated. It's the basic rule. It's like treat others how you want to be treated.
The golden rule, yes. Yeah.
That's the golden rule, yes, not basic rule. The golden rule, and that's the key. Just treating people how you want to be treated. That's the number one thing. Like, yeah, you want to talk about scaling your business and all this, but it's like, I don't want to scale my business to the point where I'm working with a lot of people I don't enjoy working with.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So I got to be around people I enjoy working with.
You have to, and the atmosphere of the business and the mindset of the business, it has to be created so that when the people that are there, when new people come in, they teach the new people the same mindset. Okay? If you create a bad mindset from the very beginning, it's a domino effect. You want to drop every single domino in the same angle that you choose the first one. Okay? Doesn't matter where they are on the table. Everything you want to go 90 degrees is 90 degrees. Why? So that way you keep consistent. Okay? If you drop some 90, some 40, it becomes a mess. You know, you want a straight line. You want to be able to try to keep. Now, of course, in a perfect world, that doesn't exist. But sometimes you have to throw things back in shape and reorganize the infrastructure. It depends on the society, culture change, all the things that can happen with a habitat of every business. Every business is very rare that a business survives more than 50 years. Okay, and because of that, is because normally the first generation is the first generation that actually construct the business and they have that mindset and the vision for the business. When you hand it over to the next generation, most likely they're going to try to do their own style. Now, if you don't have the proper protocols in place, that will change those protocols and it might change the business. That's why most business don't become like 2, 3, second, and fourth generation. You know, they don't go that far because people, one, they don't have the ambition, the love for the business. You know what I'm saying?
They just see it as making money.
Correct. And
they just see it as, they see it as just like, oh, I'm just going to make money from this. It's a lot more than just like making money. You got to love this. You know, you got to love what you're doing. You got to have like a certain level of like I just started playing golf. And like little things that I'm starting to learn about golf is a lot about like just being a man of integrity and just like, you know.
Play right.
Yeah.
I never play golf, so definitely got to go one time.
Yeah.
I'm more of a chess kind of guy and soccer guy because I'm from Brazil.
And I'm chess as well, man, because like I started playing chess probably like when I was like 7, 8 years old. My brother, he is in the Marines, and he got me up on chess before he went. So I had to be about 6 or 7 playing chess, and I mean, that's the thing about it as well too. It's not only like chess; it's just like our upbringing. We from the islands, so it's like family. You
Yes.
Respect is very big. It don't matter. You gotta
And
be
that's how you
very
learn. That's how you
respectful.
learn. Yes. That's how you learn. Yes.
You know, and then like trust and respect and just like family, like love, like
That's important.
being
Yes.
being kind and being man. People will make you laugh, bruh. You know what I mean? Even with your nickname, you might have a funny nickname. It might be a little honest, but it's gonna be a funny nickname that even you gonna laugh about it because it represents you so much.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
I have my fair share of nickname because I'm a small second guy, especially in high school.
Yeah. But it always make you laugh. It's like it's a good thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Like when it comes to even like building the brand and building the business, like have you always had that mindset? Have you ever like went straight into getting a job, or like is that just like the mindset you always had?
I mean, I always want to do something, but I never knew what was it, right? So when I was 18 years old, I also sell socks, T-shirt on my trunk and stuff like that. Try. I got my first patent. I was age 5 for my first patent at age 18. Mm-hmm. I got approved at age 21. You know, so I always had to like to try to do something. But once I learned how to stay disciplined, mm-hmm. that's when I start seeing moving on. But that's what they don't teach you in school. You know, you just follow orders, you know, follow the leader. But be able to like, hey, set up your alarm correctly, set up your calendar correctly. Those things that makes a difference. Like right now, let's say, for example, I'm looking over here. I have the 7 o'clock meeting. I'm gonna take a quick pause just to schedule them. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna ask them to record it for me because we're gonna continue this. So I'm gonna ask them to record it for me. Why? Because I have the discipline, you understand, to be aware what I'm trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. You understand? Mm-hmm. So sometimes, like always, let's say, for example, this, I can go ahead and bypass, but say, hey, can you please record it for me, and I can watch afterwards. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because the decision maker, I'm pretty much only overseeing it. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I guarantee you, I don't pick up that by 7. The phone's gonna ring, and they're gonna say, "Are you coming to the meeting?" Mm-hmm. You understand? Because we set up alarms. But the whole thing is, once you set up checkpoints, protocols in place, it allows you to be human and fall off shape and have the check balance that I spoke to you earlier, mm-hmm. that puts you back in shape. Mm-hmm. You understand? Like one thing that I would tell our team members to say, hey, if I ever miss a meeting, I want you to call me, mm-hmm. okay? Because I'm human, make mistakes also. Sometimes I'll be caught on traffic long ago, or something came up at the shop, somebody didn't show up, or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I might deal with a situation that you're not aware of, especially because you're on the other side of the continent. Mm-hmm. I might deal with a situation that you're not aware of, and then automatically might throws you off. Okay, but it doesn't mean I have bad intention, you know, of not participating. It's just something just throw you off. Okay, mm-hmm. So once you understand that and you continue to stay on the focus point, you're good to go. Because then people are gonna understand. Like, listen, you're trying hard. Remember we were talking earlier. Like, okay, it's on three type of people in working together. The person that's lacking on purpose, he don't want to carry his own weight. Mm-hmm. Then you have the person just having a bad day, or the person actually producing up to the level because they're having a good day and staying focused on the business. Mm-hmm. Okay, my goal is try to surround them with the last two. If they're always grumpy, I don't want to be with them. Okay, if they're having a bad day, that's human. That's okay. And if they're able to most of the day to be focused in a good environment, a good mindset, those are the people you want to go. Even if they have no education or past experience, I don't mind because they're willing to learn. Okay, and they're happy to learn. And as long as we're able to surround ourselves with that, we build a bigger team. Mm-hmm. You understand? And honestly, I prefer that sometimes people experience that's good, but sometimes they already have their own way of doing things. Or sometimes it's good to train people from scratch. All depends on the environment. And sometimes train people from scratch so that way we can be better connected because that way you learn. They learn exactly how you like things done. Mm-hmm. You understand? So like in the restaurant, for example, like one of my best guys, they had no experience whatsoever. One of my partner that runs the shop for us, he had no prior experience. Okay, but even so, now he's one of the best guys I work with. Mm-hmm. He's still a lot of things that he can learn, but I know I can trust the guy. I know his hard work. You understand? So those things, like they say, I think Warren Buffett, I believe, he has a quote that says 3 things. Okay, to partnership somebody, you need 3 things. 1, the person has to be honest. 2, the person has to be a hard work. And the third, the person has to be intelligent or bring some value that you don't have. Okay, now that could be financial or could be knowledge. Okay, if you don't have the first one, I don't even mess with you because it's the most important. If you don't have integrity and trust, then all the other 2 doesn't work. It's not work. They're going to actually become a bad enemy. Yeah, it's because it's going to be somebody that's hard working, intelligent, will have a lot of money, those two can become a weapon against you. Okay, so you have to first be able to trust people. Okay, if they earn your trust and are able to do that, they can become in a partner level. You know what I'm saying? Because we have actually some developers that wants to they want to partnership with us in the company and stuff like that. That's why they're working so hard. And I make sure, like, listen, if you don't show up to the meetings, if you don't deliver your schedule every time, you always, oh no, I need extra day. You're not delivering on time.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. You wouldn't even want. Why would you even ask for? Like, you shouldn't even ask for a partnership. Like, you gotta, like, if you say you're gonna deliver on time, like, oh yeah, give me another. Like, first you want to build that level of trust of like just having that consistency.
Correct. I mean, things happen. Sometimes we are late.
Things do happen, but then you want to measure it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may not be good at the measurement at the first time.
Correct.
You know?
And there's a skill set a lot of people have to learn. A lot of things like measurement.
It's a learning phase. Okay, what do they call it? A learning curve?
Yeah,
learning curve. Get an understanding of, okay, all right, I never did this type of project. I'm going to take on the project, but allow me some wiggle room so I can learn. So I can learn, being that this is the first project, so let's start with number one, like how you said, honesty. Right?
Correct, and as you have to know,
let them know that, like, hey man, look, this is my first time doing this project, man.
Yeah, don't bluff your way into doing
anything like this. So I know it's going to take a certain level of work. I know this is like in the price range and the range of budget of hours it may take, but I never done this project before, so let me go at it. I feel like this is something I could do, and let me measure it from there and just see like how much.
Something I like to learn or something like that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Even if you do it for free or if you do it at a discount rate.
Because you want to learn. We have exposure so you can learn. You're never going to learn it. Nobody learns walking.
Yeah.
If you don't fall a couple of times, if nobody trusts you to let you walk by yourself, your mom and dad always holding you, you're never going to learn how to walk.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to have that to be able to expose yourself. Of course, it depends on the kind of business and where the business is at. Sometimes we're like, listen, we can risk to have exposure because that's not the level of return that we want. But if you're willing to create something or try to create a team and stuff like that, or you're trying to learn, yes, that's fine because then we learn together. Okay, let's say, for example, if I'm going to talk to a professional on a certain subject, they might gonna give me the attention that I want. They're just going to give me the product. Okay, but if it's somebody from the beginning, I'm able to ask questions, ask them for the involvement process, or even watch how they did it, how they fail, and the way I fail, obviously, because if they fail, I fail. But then you still learn. Okay, and that's a lot of value, and that's how we pretty much polish our skill sets. Okay, and there's some skill sets that we are totally blind. Like I don't know what I don't know until I know that I know.
Exactly.
You know, so
until you're working with a pro.
You know,
like,
exactly.
oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Like, that makes sense how you handle it.
I know. I like how you did that. I know.
You know?
But yeah, so we're gonna take a break real quick, 2 minutes.
That sounds awesome.
Yep.
So that way I can call you back forward. You know, just ask them other questions and stuff. And we still gotta do the Facebook, by the way. Let's do the Facebook. If you want 30 minutes before we do the MLM, I mean, you can do the secure protocol. Right? Thanks, man.
About to film soon. Yeah. What's up?
I'm gonna head out.
You heading out already?
Yeah, because I came in looking for my SSD. I can't find it, which is not good. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's moving. Just fucking. It's probably one of my camera bags.
Yeah.
So, what's going on, bro?
What's up, man? Evander.
Evander?
Yes, yours?
Ari.
Ari, nice to meet you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, but I'll be back probably later this week. I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Let me know if you find it, bro.
Yeah, I know. I gotta find it. But I'll text you guys.
All right, bet.
All right, man.
You got brother?
Yeah.
What he does? What he does?
Same thing we do.
Editing, creation. Cause there's a lot of things that you guys do. Which part?
So like, so everybody around, like the people that you've been seeing around us, either do video production or graphic design or
so it's pretty
like
much media content of some kind.
Photography.
Okay.
Photography. You met graphic designers. You met video production. Yeah. Kind of.
Nice.
You do all the visual stuff.
Okay. So it's pretty much like literally it's like a media hub there.
Yeah.
Pretty much over here, like a graphics, video, photo shooting, editing, the whole thing, marketing, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's marketing. It's a full-on collab. It's fun. You see like how the day is already.
And I love it. Why think I'm trying to get into this? Like this, like it's fun, but it's robotic.
Yeah.
You know, it's very robotic.
This is a lot of like.
Yeah, it is like good because you pretty much like. Pretty much what we used to do as a kid, like try to have fun ideas. Like, hey, what do you think about this drawing? There's this castle look cool, but now I'm doing it professional.
It's like, what do you think about this? I got this idea. I know this client that want to do this, and he only has this small budget. We have 30 seconds to use this budget. What can we do?
Because that's actually like all my videos that I run the most on YouTube is 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So I send the message like right away.
But you could do 50, even if it's 15 or 30 seconds, you could have a budget of 100,000.
Oh yeah, because then you have to send a message.
But if you don't have a budget of 100,000, what can you do creatively?
Correct. I mean, look at Super Bowl, right? It's 30 seconds. That costs like a couple millions.
Yeah, and that costs a couple million. But
Correct.
then, what if you don't have? What if you want to do something and you don't have that budget? What are you gonna do?
Correct.
There's always something you could do.
Correct.
But it just takes a little bit of time of like the thought is gonna be the most important thing. The idea.
Correct. The vision is the most important. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Vision, like I always say, like hard work always gonna outperform us money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the money you can buy like a $2 million video and you might not have that return. Okay, but what about if you spend a couple $1,000 in a video, but you have a couple $100,000 return?
Yeah.
You made more profit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
And at the end of the day, it's not about how much you make, how much you get to keep.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's why I tell them too.
return
Like,
over investment. That's what
like,
matters.
I always be like, yo, listen, it ain't like RJ gonna go in here and fix everything. It's like, it's a collaboration. It's
Correct.
a full-on collaboration project. Like, in order for this thing to be successful, you gotta invest not only your money, but your time and energy into this thing.
Yeah, and that's the most valuable asset that you have.
That's the most valuable asset. Like, money is like easily replaceable. Money is like, but you gotta put your energy and time into this thing for it to be a success. That's a child. That's like a.
Correct. Pretty much it's pretty much like they have two saying. I don't want to make it sound bad or anything like that, but it's an old saying about money. It's like the money is a society currency. It's only a currency used by society.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or they actually say is like money. The rich folks they say like money is a poor man's currency. Because for me, I might value more money. Okay. For other people might value less money. So for me, I value money less. Okay. But I value time more. Okay. Because what I can do, because money you always can use money to buy somebody else's time. Okay. But you cannot buy back your own time. You can have as much money as you want. You're not gonna buy back your time.
Yeah.
You can buy somebody else, but you can never buy your.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a currency that's used by society. Okay, as a means of exchange.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's fun, like collaboration and stuff like that is literally saving your time.
Yeah.
Because that's your most valuable asset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of you trying to spend so much time, okay, trying to figure something out and trying to learn, just collaborate somebody and get the game done.
Yeah.
Get down to the point.
Yeah. And it's good for your mental health because then you get that inspiration. You get these sparks from other people. You get the sparks from ideas. Ideas are like, especially with creatives. Anybody that's a creative, like majority of everything that we get is from ideas. Correct. And it's from sparks. Okay. So I could be chilling. I could be working. But if I don't get sparks, done.
Correct.
I'm.
He's not waking you up, right?
Listen, I have to get sparks. People have to spark me up, bro. Like, people have to literally, like, I need ideas and inspiration.
Correct.
Inspiration and ideas. So that's why I say, like, not only the people that I work with, the people I spend my time with, they have to inspire me. If they don't inspire me,
I hear, yeah.
If they don't inspire me, I try to move around with it. And inspiration don't have to be based off of money. It's based off of anything. It could be just your freedom of being yourself.
Correct.
It could just be the way you communicate.
Correct.
It could just be the way that you love and your kindness and heart.
And that's
you
a very
inspire
asset,
me.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's different things.
Yes.
So it don't have to be based off of like, oh, this person had driving a Bentley or this person driving a scooter. Yeah. They're not really based off of that.
That's just material consistency of the moment, because moments can change consistency very quickly.
Exactly. So it's like the inspiration is more from the people, the spark of like their ideas, the way they treat people, the way their ideas is a big spark for me. You know what I mean?
No, it is, because idea is gonna open, like I say, it opens a new world for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a room of possibilities. It depends how much you take out of the idea. You know, and that's like create like the reason I got into the software business was because I want to solve problems, but not just a problem that was simply solved, but actually that could be solved. I'm not gonna say globally, but magnitude.
Mm-hmm. And then the thing about it too as well is like you looking for solutions for entrepreneurs. Is that right, or is it
correct? Yes, because in the end of the day, like most people, and myself included in the beginning, I didn't have the discipline. I wasn't taught the discipline to have. Okay, that was something that luckily for me, I was able to see that, and I saw how important it was for me to create those two sets. Okay, the mindset okay, using tools like Google Calendars, events and stuff like that. And also the mindset, hey, listen, stay focused. Bad news, ignore for a second or sleep on it. Okay, if you get a real bad news, I got, you know what, I gotta take a nap. Because I want to clear my mind. I don't want to be munching on that for too long. Otherwise, it doesn't bring me any good. If I don't have a solution for it, what am I gonna do? All right. So the whole idea is like focus on bringing something to value to be automated. But since most people don't have the discipline to keep learning or to stay focused, or very easy, a lot of people get distracted by other things. What can we automate? So that way it doesn't need your focus, doesn't need your mindset to know the product. The learning curve has to be very fast because to come across new product that you never seen a year ago or 2 years ago, it's hard. That's why a lot of people don't adapt to the social media. Okay, the old folks, they don't adapt to the social media because it's something that came up like a year ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, like TikTok. A lot of people don't have that. Why? Because it's new to them. So why would they accept something that does not, they've been living their whole life with something they don't need it? Only reason they're going to start using it is because the peer pressure as a form of communication or to look cool. Okay? Otherwise, they don't need any TikTok. Back in the day, they didn't need Instagram. But because everybody got the peer pressure, then they push themselves to
I
learn.
just got TikTok like about 2 weeks ago. I've been had TikTok. I did my first post about a month ago.
I was about to say the same. Like I had my TikTok probably like about a year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I probably pushed like 2 contents in the past 2 years now. Yeah. And I'm not even intending to do something fresh right now because right now I'm not focused on marketing per se. Because in a few months I'm about to launch and I'm gonna do a lot of marketing.
Yeah.
So I'm holding back on like distracting myself on learning a new platform.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, but like that's the same thing. It's just like being open to learning, people being open to trying different platforms. It's like, especially even with TikTok, it's like, oh, TikTok. But it's like, all right, how can we just like stay consistent on these different platforms? How can we keep posting? How can we keep creating and being open to creating on these different platforms? Because each platform is different. So like how we doing now is more of a long format, kind of us like having a conversation and just talking about business stuff and talking about brainstorming. But even a lot of the things that we're talking about now, we using the same exact things that we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna make this into shorter format stuff that you can use on TikTok.
Yeah, because you want the points. You want the points, yes.
Yeah, as long as we. So the main thing is just like we're talking about real life experience about like as far as being business owners and understanding how to market ourselves. So I'm not comfortable with being on camera, but I'm on camera now, right?
I probably look at the camera like 10 times already. I'm the worst video guy.
Yeah, I hate being on camera. I hate being on camera.
I'm totally friendly with being public and stuff like that. But again, you're always gonna have bad angles, bad words. That's why they have editing for.
Yeah. Listen,
you're gonna have your coughs.
but the thing about it is like what I always try to do is like, listen, man. Anything we're pushing, we got to do it first. Anything that we're doing, we got to get a feel of what it's going on.
Don't ask somebody else to do it unless we're to do it.
Yeah. So a lot of times we've been on camera, but we don't put it out, right?
Correct.
So now it's like it's one thing of like actually being on camera, then you got to put it out. Like we just be on camera just to test. Like if we doing headshots, we practice headshots with each other.
Correct. Yes. Right practice create perfection.
Yeah,
but we don't. Wrong practice is gonna create imperfection. But
we don't put it out. It don't mean that we put it out. But now when you say, you're gonna be putting this stuff out.
Yeah, correct. And that's the whole idea. Like creating content. Like I say, the creative mind. Okay. Sometimes you get creative by yourself. Sometimes you get creative by input. Sometimes you get creative by analyzing somebody else. That's what we call studying and research. Research and development is the biggest industry actually about big companies.
Yes.
So research, brainstorm, what we call brainstorm, research and development. Okay. So we have all that comparing, getting points. So all that is part of the growth. Okay. Now I'm not gonna tell the whole product. I don't want to spoil, but the whole thing what we're trying to create, we are trying to create pretty much take off let's call the knuckles of the bad parts of that's so hard for us to go through and try to automate it more to create value. Okay, it's for the daily Joe that doesn't know how to create content, doesn't know the basic marketing point, like you talked to me earlier, the checkpoints. Yeah. They don't know what the checkpoints are. They can have majority of the checkpoints. You might not get 100%, like how Google Ads give like the checkpoints and stuff like that. You can get some of the checkpoints.
You go focus on the things that you're good at, and you could have a partner that work with you to handle all those checkpoints.
Correct, and somebody to be able to like pretty much like a coach, like hey, this is what you should do or not. So he has a score.
And what's a coach? To me, a coach is no nothing more than an accountability partner. somebody that's going to be keeping you accountable, making sure that you're posting.
That can be one type. Yes.
A coach is someone that's making you do something, but in this sense, it's like you're doing the coaching and you're doing the implementing because it's a certain level of collaboration.
Correct.
But at the same time, we're going to be doing.
You have to be willing to do the work, and he's be willing to call you out when you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very much the coach. Like he might have some level of mastery of technique that you might not have, but you're trying to acquire. All right. So that's pretty much what the coach is. Let's say, for example, I love to talk to business mind people, smart people like you. Is that hey, I like to learn things and be able to learn. Okay, blind spots maybe I'm even not aware of. The worst enemy that we have is yourself and the things that you don't know that you don't know. Okay, that's our worst enemy. The moment you're able to understand and believe that, you're gonna do things in a cautionary way. Okay, and you do things with more caution. You're gonna be able to foresee things. There is a possibility of mistakes, and then be able to see possibilities of mistakes. Gonna make you create a different patterns. Okay, different paths. So that way you can say, okay, if this one doesn't work, this plan A, plan B, plan C. You don't do plan A, plan M, plan B, and plan C as a backup point in case of a fail. You just do as a happy path, secondary path, third path, and fourth path. Okay, let's say, for example, if you try to get to here, to the stadium, what happens if one street light is closed? You're going to turn right, you're going to wait 30 minutes in the traffic light. You're not going to wait 30 minutes because you have to be there on time.
So, yeah, man, that's really what you're touching on is like a real thing because that's how as an entrepreneur, you got to be fearless in going in one direction, but you also got to consider that this one traffic light might be stopping. So you got to have creativity of developing a solution. The main thing, the main thing is like understanding, like we can't spend too much time on the problem. Okay, the red light is the problem. Let's find a solution on how we get it. You could reverse, you could do this, you do it.
You say sometimes you got to step back.
Yeah, you may have to step back. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's what it takes. It's like it's not just. So, and that's what we do here. It's like this, just the same thing as what your software does. It's like it's solving problems. It's a solution maker. It's not focusing on the problem. Value. It's like these are this is a list of the problems.
Yeah. You have to create.
And these are the list of the solutions. That
you have to create value for pretty much like what you guys see, which I think is amazing. Is you're pretty much trying to say, hey, you already have the product. Mm-hmm. Let's get exposure the proper way. Okay. So that way you can get the results that you're looking for. Because that's the reason why you're creating the product.
Yeah. You're not calling me to do a photo or a video just to do a photo or video.
Exactly.
You're looking to do a photo or video to get some type of result. What is that result?
Correct.
What is that result you want? You want to get signups? You want to fundraise? You want to want people to call you? You want more emails? You want whatever? Like, let's not. I don't want to just know like, okay, you want a lead. What kind of lead you want?
Is it quality? Is volume?
Is it email? Yeah. Is it volume? Exactly.
Is it quality or volume? Sometimes we just want volume to keep everybody busy.
Yeah.
Because it's a numbers game.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's not a numbers game. It's just quality that matters.
Exactly.
You gotta be precise in the point sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, if I'm gonna shoot something on like on Wall Street, something like that, listen, the ad better be on point.
Yeah.
Because I'm only gonna get like 2 shots because they're like so expensive to be, you know.
But that's the reason why you know the difference between if you're hiring an agency or somebody to work with, you know the difference between the type of agency by the type of questions they ask you. Because like we gotta ask you these type of questions because if we're gonna create content, we gotta understand the energy we going like what's
trying to build, what and how we trying to build.
We can't so a lot of times the creative is the last part of the whole entire process.
Correct.
Like understanding the objective, like okay, how many phone calls, and then out of the phone calls, like you said, volume or quality, right?
Correct. Yes.
Now, just with that alone, we could build a campaign. We could start at least brainstorming some ideas. Correct. Now, after that brainstorming of ideas, we may have to come to you with more questions.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, and then you do follow-up questions to tune up. Pretty much like the pipe, you got to build up the funnel to get to the end game to create. And then sometimes after that, A/B testing and stuff like that, so you can optimize it better. Yeah.
So then once we get to a basic level and we actually do a photo shoot, we do a video. Then it's like we check it, we run it. Let's see what we got. Let's pull back.
Correct.
Let's see what we got. Optimize it even more.
Correct.
Recreate what we have. Re-edit, reshoot, whatever the case may be.
Versionate it, different edit points.
It's all about
versions.
It's all about variations.
I don't even know if that's a word, but let's say versionate.
It's all about variations, and it's all about like iteration, constant iteration.
Okay.
Like a lot of times people think that it's like a one time. I just want a video and that's it. Boom, boom. We can create a video, boom, that's it.
What's the end
But
game?
it's a constant iteration
Correct.
of those videos. So you have to have not only to go in and create it, now you have to create it and constantly iterate each and every month. So
Correct.
even if you're not creating new videos, even if you're not going out to shooting more videos, now you could go and take the video that you already have
Re-edit.
and re-message it, re-edit.
Different
That's
entrance,
iterations
different
every single month.
Yeah.
But you have to be tracking everything to know why you're changing and what you're changing. That you got to track the results. And you was talking to Javon about that just a while ago, and it's like that's really what it is. It's like we are creating a creative, but in order to get to this point of creating a creative, that's the last point. We gotta understand the objective, right?
Correct.
We gotta then from that objective and all of the improvements that you want to make, then we create a strategy.
Correct. And that's also like on marketing, the way I see it, and again, you know more than me, but just from my humble perspective, okay? The marketing, you have the thing. You have to understand that at the end of the game, you want only two things in marketing, okay? You want exposures and sales. That's pretty much branding or sales, okay? Conversion rates, which normally converts into clicks or converts into sales, right? Mm-hmm. Right? That's pretty much that's the end game, okay? Now, if you're able to track correctly, like I say, like if you're able to track correctly, you're able to see what's working, what's not working. It might be the landing page, it might be the content inside the landing page redirection, because maybe the landing page is great and I fill up the form or I make the action, but then afterward the customer service was bad. Okay, maybe the person that picked up the phone didn't sell the product. Okay, or maybe the product after delivery, the product was no good. Okay, so there's so many pinpoint in a business in order to be able to fulfill any business. Okay, you have pretty much the skeleton through the happy path. Okay, and you have to see where the risk are associated. Let's say, for example, me on this new hoodie business. Okay, I know the majority of the risk most likely, as always, going to be on advertisement because you have to be able to convert. But you're able to convert if your ads and posts look good, okay? Or also the risk going to be on the manufacturer itself. Are the manufacturer going to be able to bring you a good quality product and not leave you hanging dry? Say, oh yeah, it's supposed to be 2 months delivery, and now suddenly 6 months down, you don't have no product. You have sales and you're behind in getting cancellation because you're not able to fulfill the orders. You understand? So as a business, it's not just about production, but also delivery, accountability, quality customer service, you know, be able to constantly keep up to the standard that you're trying to set up from the very beginning.
And my mentor, he always say undersell and over deliver, and I'm like,
that's a beautiful
I'm
sentence.
like,
Yes.
just that sentence alone, I thought it was just in my producing of my quality, but I had to start underselling.
Correct.
I had to start setting the parameters lower.
Because you don't want to set a hope.
Before I was setting my hypes, I was like, oh, I could do this. So I would set it all the way up here, and then I would under deliver. He said, listen, it took me a while to catch it.
Correct, yes.
Because I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit high. So whatever I was planning to hit, I would promise.
Correct.
But now I'm like, okay, they didn't even thinking about all of that. They just want
the basic 101, yeah. It's called, I call that the Apple strategy.
Yeah.
The Apple, the iPhone. I call the Apple strategy. Make a simple video and then make the customer experience be great.
Yeah.
It'd be the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Call the Apple strategy because then you over deliver over it and now you're able to pretty much becomes in a luxury good.
Yeah. Exactly.
You understand? Like you see, for example, like we do in our restaurant, like we are literally like we are pretty much like a mom and pop. Okay. But we bring qualities. I'm not gonna say all the brands, but we bring quality on some of the top hitters.
So the qualities that they bring is first service, connections. Connection is probably the most important thing. So it's gotta have you gotta be personable and professional. This is so like that's why we connect. So it's like it's the same thing like what we do here in Content Factory. It's like you gotta be a level of personable.
Correct.
But you also have to be professional, right? And then outside of that, man, you gotta have a good vibe, bro. You gotta have a good atmosphere. And the atmosphere is good.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying. Like, do you go out to your house so you can get cursed? No, you go out of the house because you want to be treated well nice because you want to be happy. Because obviously, if you're happy 100% of the time at home, you just stay home, lock yourself in. So the moment you try to go outside to buy a product or trying to grow your life by doing a business or buying a product so you can resell whatever it is that your intentions are, as a consumer or as an entrepreneur or as a business owner, okay, or as a manager, whatever you want to call, you always pretty much get off into life every day we get out of bed with a purpose of self-improvement. Okay? Now, the self-improvement can be tuned, like you have the discipline to stay tuned, or it can be just you living life in a freestyle way, so that way you can go ahead and improve yourself or enjoy yourself in a controlled environment. Okay? Now, the controlled environment could be the restaurant that you go, the controlled environment could be the bar that you go, your family member house, your friend house, but those are all controlled environment. Even when you try something new, you already made a subconscious decision or even a conscious decision to choose an environment the way you want to be participated on. Okay? Let's say, for example, if you don't like crowded place, you're not gonna choose to go to a concert. You're gonna choose to go to open restaurant, maybe open kitchen and stuff like that.
A lounge,
different
things like
so
that.
subconscious, you're already making those decisions, because otherwise, we as a humans, we just stuck. Okay, so the only reason why we try to do business and stuff like that, like you're trying, I'm trying to do business, is for the only concept that we are unsatisfied to a certain level to stand still in a daily routine. Okay, we believe we are taught, or we believe because we only believe what you are taught. Okay, or you have a sense of believing. Okay, but technically we believe what we are taught, that we have to be constantly moving. Okay, and sometimes by not moving at all, you make the biggest move. So as I say, silence sometimes silence is gold.
I have a collaborator that I work with a lot of like marketing and as you've seen being here hanging out with us.
Yes.
Everything that I do is not everything.
I'll say
but I do a lot of collaboration.
You have to be like to be able to work as a human, and that's what society is all about.
I do a lot of collaboration.
Correct.
And especially like in my world, I do a lot of collaboration. Not just me. So one of my collaborators, she's like, yo, I'm taking a step back.
Okay.
I'm taking a step back on everything. I'm like, but I understand the power of that. It's like, listen, when you take a step back, you get to analyze what you've been doing the last couple of months.
Correct.
You get to take a look at like, what do I want in the next coming year, in the next coming 5 years, in the next coming 10 years. And what I've been doing in the last year and a half, 3 months,
correct,
is that going to add me into where I want to go? So now as a business, as a strategy, as a direction, the people I want to work with, the type of life and money I feel like I need to make in order to live the life that I want.
Correct.
These are all the type of things that I have to take in consideration and look at it. And if having that discipline, you got to have that discipline to stop, that self-control. Self-control is key. It's on self-control. From self-control, you have patience. These are the things this is how you
able
develop.
To analyze and see things.
Yeah, this is how you kind of like
perspective change with self-control.
Yeah.
If you're going very fast, you won't see things. If
decisiveness is sometimes not making a decision, and decisiveness is making a decision not to make a decision.
Correct.
It's like, yo, listen, for the next 2
not
months,
interfere. Choose not to interfere. It might be a decision to make.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And sometimes that whether it's a 2-week step back, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, it could be a quarter. But that moment of step back would then, once you have the level of focus and the level of knowing exactly what your next steps are, your game plan is.
Correct.
Taking the time to understand and plan execution. Understanding how you're going to, not execution, but planning to win.
Correct.
People talk about winning. Win, no matter what. That shit sound good. But I'm talking about planning.
Gets your pump, but doesn't get things done all the time.
I'm talking about planning to win.
Correct.
That means planning out what are you going to do with your business, whatever it is. It's all industries. It's universal.
Correct. I agree.
Like, and then executing on that and really putting the level of work to do that. Yeah. That's something.
And I totally agree. Like, let's say, for example, as I talked to you before, my first company took me 3 years to build. But the reason it took me 3 years to build because the first time didn't work out. Okay. Second time I changed the strategy, different product and everything. Same industry, but changed the product, different strategy didn't work out. And the third one worked out. Okay. So that took me 3 times to learn the curve. Where could I fit in and what could I deliver? Because sometimes that's just a hypothetical speaking. Let's say, for example, you go in a car dealership, or maybe you're going to start as a mechanic. Maybe you start fixing tires. Maybe you start changing oil. And at the end of the day, you're selling cars. That worked for you. You understand? Yeah. So you're in the industry. You just find your path into the industry. Mm-hmm. You understand? So that's the whole thing. Like same thing. Like I'll say for marketing. Okay, Marketing can be, sometimes you can just be managing the content. Sometimes you can be creating the content. Sometimes you can be adding the content. Sometimes you can test the quality of the content. You understand? So sometimes you can be given an idea for branding. Sometimes maybe you're not good on branding. You're good on creating the wow product which attracts people. You understand? So it all depends on that. That's why you gotta see it. What do you have right now? The best skill sets that you can use, and also the best skill set that you can develop to become even better, an expert in it. Like me, for example, like I mentioned to you before, I was on the processing business. Okay, that's one other company that I have, the credit card processing. Okay, and now the whole thing it is like in the beginning I wasn't on that. On that I was selling service. And I said, you know what, my service is not that good. Okay, because everything was digital. I don't have the manpower for that. But now to process it, I need a lot of manpower. So I went to process. Okay, and but like you said even earlier, very valuable is that sometimes you have to be able to step back to see. Okay, you're not gonna be able to see the say example. You're not gonna be able to see the billboard if you're going 100 miles per hour. But if you're going slow enough, you can read every single message. You can look in the review mirror, see the cars behind you, be able to cut and all that. And that's when you drive fast. When you be able to stop to pay attention to the environment that surrounds you, and that way you're able to better execute.
Yeah.
You know,
Awareness is everything, because awareness not only in like just like how you were saying, like 'cause that's what you need. You need to be able to see the billboard and read what's going on. But in awareness, it's like now you're aware of like how you fit into the puzzle.
correct.
So now you go forward in like a.
Now you can play the game like
Yeah.
it's yours. You
So,
own the arena.
I know how I fit into the puzzle. I know like and when I say fit in the puzzle, it's just like how we always collaborate. Cause like when we meet up for lunch or when we meet up to talk or we meet up to chat, you're trying to understand how you could help me, and I'm trying to understand how I can help you.
Collaboration. Yes,
That's collaboration.
correct. And society as a whole, the whole point, like at least me, I mean, I don't talk for everybody, but at least me for myself, the way I say, like, I say, what value can I bring to myself, to my family, and to others?